Monmouth University is put on lockdown. A music video features children affected by cancer, and victims of Hurricane Sandy are outraged. All this and more on Hawk TV News. Hello and welcome to Hawk TV News. I'm Yasmin Rodriguez.
And I'm Haley Gasparine. Monmouth University football player Keith Williams was arrested on November 3rd after sending the school into a lockdown. Williams has been charged with one count of attempted robbery after approaching two female students and demanding their cell phones at gunpoint. The two women fled from the scene and immediately called the police. Williams was arrested around 10:30 p.m. and the lockdown was lifted about 2 hours later after the weapon used in the incident was located. Upon further investigation, the alleged gun turned out to be a fake. Williams is currently being held in Monmouth County Jail with bail set at $100,000. An investigation is still ongoing to determine if other individuals were involved.
A new music video has been released for a song called Fighter. It is in honor of children who are either fighting or have survived cancer. The song was written last summer by local singer and songwriter Taylor Tote from Tinton Falls. At the time, she was babysitting her sister, a 6-year-old cancer survivor. 1 year later, they professionally recorded the song at Lake House Music Studios in Asbury Park. The music video includes childhood cancer fighters and survivors and the Middletown Fire Department. You can find the link to purchase the song Fighter on Hawk TV's Twitter, Hawk-TV-12. All money raised will go towards childhood cancer research.
On November 4th, WMCX held its 24-hour music fest. Dylan McGilloway has the story.
Today is College Radio Day, and upstairs we have WMCX celebrating. Let's go check it out. I'm here in the WMCX lobby where there's live music. We got free food, we got board games, and now we're going to go down here and check out what's going on.
Can't go back, fix all the things I thought I was doing right.
College Radio Day is an international celebration of the medium of college radio. It has typically always been a 12-hour event. In years past, we've done a band each hour. However, this year we've done 6 hours of bands and then 6 hours of specialty programming. We have to obviously get the bands, which isn't too terribly hard, and then figuring out what specialty programming we're going to put throughout the day isn't all that hard either. Really the hardest thing is just getting the food and actually getting people to show up.
My role at College Radio Day was to make sure people showed up, and I think I did a pretty good job at that. I think the turnout for College Radio Day was a success. Everybody showed up on time, all the bands performed very, very well, and all the specialty shows went according to plan. We even had people at Monmouth TV come and help out as well, so I was really excited for that.
This has been my 4th College Radio Day, and I honestly think that this has been the best one in terms of turnout, in terms of how much fun people are having, and in terms of just how everything sounds on air. We've been able to set the bands up real well. All the specialty shows sound real good, and we're just all having a great time. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, I'm too young to feel this way, but I'm too old to expect things to stay the same.
That's a wrap on College Radio Day. My name is Dylan McGilloway for Hawk TV News. Stay golden.
Congressman Frank Pallone and Republican opponent Brent Sonic Schmelz faced off in a debate at Monmouth University on November 2nd in Wilson Hall. Pallone has been a New Jersey representative of the 6th District for 23 years. Schmelz is a Republican candidate running against Pallone. Back in September, Schmelz challenged Pallone to 2 debates. After a few weeks, Pallone finally accepted and the two faced off. Topics of the debate included the Affordable Care Act, national security, Social Security, the economy, raising the minimum wage, climate change, gun control, impacts of Hurricane Sandy, and the presidential election.
A Long Branch teen was hospitalized after being struck by a van on Halloween night. The teen, who has cerebral palsy, suffered a foot injury and an abrasion to the head, according to Long Branch Lieutenant Christopher Hazel. He was wearing a Darth Vader costume and was hit near Morris and Chelsea Avenues. Police were alerted to the crash around 6:30, and the boy was immediately brought to Monmouth Medical Center.
We now go to Alexis Jennings for an update on the Festival of Lights.
I'm here at the Diwali event hosted by the International Club, better known as the Celebration of Lights. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, actually Diwali in India is considered to be the major important festival in India, and the significance of Diwali is that the Lord Krishna, like in the olden days, the Lord Krishna who defeated his evils, he is having the revenge of killing the opposite enemies, and due to that he gains immense happiness, and as he gains the happiness, we celebrate that, or we celebrate a festival in order to gain or to harness the superficial powers, and due to that we illuminate the country with the lights and we burn crackers.
And offering to the God. We lit the lights, and light is like a symbol of goodness. First of all, puja. After that, we do presentations, and we have food, very delicious food with sweets. One of the main tasty food we get here.
Light celebrates, it symbolizes the enlightenment of knowledge, and which protects us from the evil, and it protects us from the society. So basically, it protects us from this. So that's all the festival is all about. So
this year's Diwali celebration was a huge success. It gave Monmouth students the opportunity to learn about different cultures and the way they celebrate. I'm Alexis Jennings for Hawk TV News.
Victims of Hurricane Sandy are expressing anger and frustration towards state lawmakers over foreclosures, which they say are due to the slow recovery process. The State Assembly Regulatory Oversight and Reform listened to victims' heartbreaking stories of long, poor planning and financial ruins after the state's worst natural disaster. According to the president of Ortley Beach Voters and Taxpayers Association, Paul Jeffrey, it will take at least 3 to 5 years before the tax base is back and fully recovered.
We have to take a short break, but stay tuned for more Hawk TV News.
Everywhere you look, there's a heart, there's a heart.
She answering. And who am I? That's not a secret I'll never tell. You know you love me. XOXO, Gossip Girl.
I said these two can keep a secret, is one of them is dead.
$7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at GIF Support.
Eatontown man Einau Rainey is facing charges in connection with a 2014 shooting and robbery in Red Bank. 2 victims were shot, but both survived. A joint investigation by the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office and Red Bank Police Department finally resulted in charges against Rainey. Rainey and an accomplice allegedly approached the victims and demanded money before shooting them and fleeing the scene. Rainey is facing multiple counts, including first-degree attempted murder and first-degree armed robbery. His bail is set at $1 million, and he faces up to 100 years in prison if convicted on all counts.
On November 3rd, officials reported that authorities made 42 arrests after busting a freehold drug ring responsible for moving about 2,500 bags of heroin and 200 grams of cocaine per week. The main suspect, Kenneth Crooms, was apprehended during the seizure. Police found 2,700 bags of heroin, 300 grams of cocaine, 16 ounces of marijuana, and dozens of prescription pills. 4 of the suspects still remain at large.
For the latest news and fashion, we go to Alyssa Wilson.
Hey guys, I'm here today with another edition of Dressing the Part. So I get that we are all in college and sometimes we're just lazy. We don't want to do our hair or put in the effort it takes to walk out of our dorms looking decent on some days. With all the hustle and bustle of college life, we need quick and easy outfits to put together. Today I'm going to give you the one tool you need to do this. This will be leggings. I know men complain about how many different pairs of leggings women have, but they are truly different. There is the typical black legging that can be styled with a sweatshirt or even just a graphic tee and a denim jacket for style and for convenience. Then you have your leather legging. This is for a more stylish look. Something that looks like you didn't just roll out of the bed, but also offers extreme comfort. To style this, try pairing it with a solid tee and maybe a colorful jacket. For my girls who love to hit the gym, your fitness leggings count too. Do not be afraid to rock your leggings. Just please make sure that they are acceptable. Make sure that they are of good quality and not see-through. That is all you need, and you'll be able to be comfortable and stylish all at the same time. Back to you guys at the desk.
We now go to Tony Lynn for a look at college football.
When it comes to the 2016 Heisman race, there's Louisville's Lamar Jackson, and then there's everyone else. Jackson is the favorite to win college football's top individual prize, and Week 10 saw him likely extend his advantage over some of the top players in the country. There are other players that make a very strong case for themselves for the award this year. So here are my top 4 college football players in the Heisman Trophy race after Week 10. Number 4 is Michigan's Jabril Peppers. Peppers wasn't spectacular in the big win over Maryland, but he continues to do a little bit of everything. He recorded 5 tackles, including 1 for a loss, and carried the ball twice. In total, he was on the field for 4 offensive snaps and 55 defensive snaps. His numbers won't always blow you away, but he continues to deserve consideration for his ability to excel in multiple positions. He lined up at 6 different positions for the Wolverines during their blowout win over Maryland: cornerback, linebacker, nickelback, safety quarterback, running back, and wide receiver, which poses the question, is there really anything Jabril Peppers cannot do? Moving on to number 3 is Deshaun Watson of Clemson. In Week 10, Watson helped the Tigers build a 30-0 halftime lead with 3 total touchdowns before leaving the game with a bruised shoulder. This season, Watson has recorded 2,497 passing yards and 24 passing touchdowns, as well as 370 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Number 2 on the countdown is Jake Browning of Washington. If there's one player who crept a little bit closer to Jackson's top dog status, it was Washington's QB. In Washington's Week 10 62-27 win over Cal, Browning threw for 378 yards and 6 touchdowns with an interception. Browning is no threat to run out of the backfield, but he amasses a phenomenal record as a passer this season, posting 34 touchdowns with just 3 interceptions. And then, confidently sitting at number 1 is Lamar Jackson. Another game, another stat line that seems out of a video game for the 19-year-old. He had 7 touchdowns in Louisville's road win. He has now accounted for at least 4 touchdowns in 7 of the Cardinals' last 9 games. He has 45 total touchdowns this season and is on pace to break the FBS record Colt Brennan set in Hawaii in 2006. When it comes to Jackson, even if he wasn't playing quarterback, his rushing totals alone might give him Heisman consideration. Being that Jackson is dominating in both phases of the game, it really sets him apart from the competition. Well, guys, that's it for Crunch Time with Tony. For more on Monmouth professional and collegiate sports, tune into the Extra Point on Hawk TV, channel 12.1. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up on Hawk TV News, find out the best food places in the area. And is drinking water really that good for you? Find out next.
What's it like when you hear your calling? Will you remember where you were? Will you ignore it, or will you listen? What if it calls you to go halfway around the world? To share your skills? To serve people you've never met, to do things you never thought you could. What will you do when you hear your calling? Peace Corps. Life is calling. How far will you go?
Programs on here, and it has the TV guide and Phew, that was close.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
We now go to my co-anchor for tips on the best places to eat in the area.
If you're looking for some new food adventures, then you've come to the right place. I know it can get tiring going to the same places to eat over and over, and trying new places can sometimes disappoint, but these won't. Let's start with Darcy's Tavern in Bradley Beach. Open from 10 a.m. until 2 a.m. daily, this well-known soccer bar serves both breakfast and lunch and has a great happy hour. My personal suggestion is the huevos entero off the breakfast menu. For more information, you can follow them on Twitter at Darcy's Tavern. Another goodie just about 5 minutes from campus is Neil's Kitchen on West End in Long Branch. It's a classic hole-in-the-wall with relatively cheap prices. You can get everything from salads to cold subs, hot subs, soups, and breakfast sandwiches. My recommendation would be the chicken franchise sub. They even deliver, which is always a bonus. Our third place is a little further in Neptune City called Pia and Elda's. What's great about this place is the Whole Pie Eaters Club. Finish an entire extra large pie in one sitting by yourself and win a free t-shirt. Some incentive to win while eating something that's named as Jersey Shore's best pizza. Last but certainly not least, Ocean View Bakery. Ocean View has the nostalgic feel of an older deli with another close proximity to Monmouth University. This is an example of don't judge a book by its cover because the bakery does look a little dingy, but that isn't what you'll be thinking after you try one of their delicious deli cold subs. That's all for this week's Shore Eats. Back to you guys at the desk. For your health and fitness update, we go to Jenna Frayne. Today, I have the answers to all of your questions about water. I don't know about you, but I am constantly hearing people talk about how they need to drink more of it. Sometimes friends of mine even carry around a jug with them and try to drink that amount twice a day. I've also heard people say that you should drink half your body weight in ounces. For me, I find that to be a little excessive. To be honest, I simply don't have enough time in my day to remember to drink that much water. So today, I will be trying to look further into some of these myths. Monash University in Australia led a study to challenge the popular idea that we should consume 8 glasses of water daily. What this study has revealed is that the mechanism that regulates fluid intake and stops us from overdrinking could potentially cause fatal water intoxication. What was shown is that swallowing inhibition is activated by the brain after excess liquid is consumed. An associate professor at the university, Michael Farrell, says that this means we should not only be drinking when we are thirsty. Drinking according to thirst is what is healthier for our bodies. What we need to remember is that drinking too much water puts the body in danger of water intoxication, hyponatremia. This is when levels of sodium in the body become abnormally low. So we definitely don't want this to happen. More details on this study can be found online on the Journal of Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences in the U.S. What we need to remember from this is to drink water every day, but not in an excess amount. A great way to remember to get this water intake every day is to substitute any juice or soft beverages you drink on the daily with water. Also keep in mind 80% of our water intakes comes from drinking water, while the other 20% comes from the food we eat. So be sure to eat lots of water-filled foods like fruits and vegetables to stay extra hydrated. That's all for this week's Fit Life. I'm Jenna Frayne. Back to you guys at the desk.
When we come back, we'll have your Monmouth Sports.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. Yeah. Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, double ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, sparkles next Sunday. All the healthy children eat well and move a lot. And move a lot. And move a lot. Eat well and move a lot. 60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Skip a rope Saturday, freeze tag Friday, tap dance Thursday. Whole grains Wednesday, try a veggie Tuesday. Let's move Monday, split the sweet Sunday. Eat well and move a lot. Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. All the healthy children, all the healthy children. Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor.
The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
I look up to a lot of the older heads, you know, the innovators, the heads of the art movements of the past. They kept it really edgy, and like a lot of the Latin American muralists and Latin American artists, and their styles were very unique and new to their time. You know, somewhat controversial, but that's who I look up to mainly. Personally, I'm very excited about going to college. It's something new and it's something different than what I'm used to. I'm definitely going to be a little out of my element, but that's what makes it so exciting, is that, you know, it's something fresh. Well, there's so many opportunities that I think I could miss out on if I didn't go, you know? Getting into college takes planning and vision. You know, it's just like when I take a brick wall and turn it into a canvas for my art. Paintings help me realize that I've got what it takes.
Hawk TV News, and we've got it covered.
This is Hawk TV News.
This is Hawk TV News, and we've got it covered. Welcome back to Hawk TV News. Let's kick it off with your Monmouth sports. So the Monmouth University field hockey team concluded their regular season with a 3-0 win against Sacred Heart on October 28th. Juniors Meg Donahue and Julie Laszlo scored, while senior Casey Hanna also recorded a goal. Junior goalkeeper Kristen Prusante, recorded her 10th shutout of the season. The victory was the 15th for the Hawks on the season, as the Blue and White finished the season at 15-2 and 6-0 in MAC conference play, which were both tops in their program history. MU also hosted the MAC tournament, which featured Bryant, Fairfield, and Ryder at So Sweet a Cat Field from November 4th to November 6th. The Monmouth University football team fell to Coastal Carolina 38-17 November 5th. The Hawks led by 7 at halftime, but were outscored by 28 points the rest of the way. Quarterback Kenji Bahar threw for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in the game, with wide receiver Reggie White Jr. accounting for 149 of those yards. Turnovers proved to be the difference maker in this game, as the Hawks threw 3 interceptions on the afternoon. The loss was the 4th in a row for the Hawks, who saw their record drop to 4-6. Monmouth looks to end their season on a high note as they travel to Gardner-Webb for their final game of the season. And now moving to your professional sports. In Week 9 of the NFL, the New York Giants came away with a huge 28-23 win over the Philadelphia Eagles. This was the Giants' first win over the Eagles since 2013. Eli Manning finished 22 of 36 for 257 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Manning's 257 yards increased his career total to 46,428, moving him past Vinny Testaverde and into 9th place on the NFL's career list. 2 of Manning's touchdowns went to Odell Beckham Jr., with the others to Roger Lewis Jr. and Sterling Shepard, while Landon Collins made his 3rd interception of the season. With the win, the Giants are keeping pace with division rivals, the Dallas Cowboys. Now the New York Jets fell to the Miami Dolphins 27-23. Miami rookie Kenyon Drake scored untouched on a 96-yard kickoff return with 5:15 left to win the seesaw battle with the Jets. Defensive tackle Jordan Phillips of Miami showed his ball-carrying skills while he hurdled an opponent during a 17-yard interception return to set up a field goal. The Jets hurt themselves with 4 personal foul penalties, 2 interceptions thrown by Ryan Fitzpatrick, and numerous missed chances. With the loss, New York falls deeper into last place in the NFC East. Now moving to the National Hockey League. Play is underway, and local teams have seen mixed results to open the campaign. The New York Rangers and defending Stanley Cup champions Pittsburgh Penguins sit atop the Eastern Conference's Metropolitan Division. The New York Devils sit in 6th place, while the New York Islanders sit in 7th. The Rangers lead the NHL with a plus 23 goal differential, meaning they have scored 23 more goals than they have allowed. The Montreal Canadiens led the Atlantic Division and lead all NHL teams with 21 points. In the Western Conference, the Chicago Blackhawks lead the Central Division, and the Edmonton Oilers lead the Pacific Division. Now that's it over here, so I'm going to send it back over to you guys at the desk.
That's all for this week on Hawk TV News. Thank you for joining us. I'm Haley Gasparine.
And I'm Yasmin Rodriguez. Be sure to tune in next time for another edition of Hawk TV News.